Welcome to the Life After Plus One podcast, where we turn life's lemons into delightful lemonade. Get ready for inspiring stories, uplifting conversations, and all the tips and tricks to rock your single parent journey with style. I'm your host, Leanne, and it's time to embrace the adventure of Life After Plus One. So, let's dive in.
Hello. Welcome back to Life After Plus One. I'm Leanne, your podcast host and your single parent mentor and coach. And for those of you who don't know much about me, I thought I'd just jump in with a little bit of an intro about myself, because there's probably a lot of you out there that have just discovered the podcast, or maybe you've just found me on Instagram and you're like, who is this girl and what does she know? Well, I will tell you. So everyone, my name is Leanne and I am your single parent coach, as I said at the start. And I come here to you all with 12 years of a single parent life experience. So I have got the lived experience. I have co-parented with a narcissist. I have been through toxic breakups. I have been through a marriage and a divorce. I have been through a de facto breakup or relationship with my daughter's father. I have one daughter who is now in her teenage years, and I have experienced all the highs and the lows of single parent life. I have been through these struggles financially, mentally, emotionally. I have been at the rock bottom, slept on lounges, slept in motels, thought I was going to end up in a woman's refuge at one point, but thankfully something came through at the last minute. I have been at the lowest of low. Trust me, I have been through some pretty toxic situations. But one thing that I did promise myself when I got out of this, when I left my daughter's father, it was such a horrific experience where I remember saying to myself, I want to get myself through this because I want to help other single parents. Because when I first broke up, I didn't have the support. Podcasts, maybe they were around, but it wasn't a thing because it was 12 years ago. I had my Wayne Dwyer books, a bit of Tony Robbins, all those people. I had all the books. I listened to the YouTube clips. I did it all. I did my studying. I've studied life coaching. I've done counseling. I've done everything you can think of, all these extra modalities in between to keep building my skills. I'm constantly reading. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly developing my knowledge and my experience and my skill set so I can help you all. Because as some of you may know, and I have mentioned it on previous episodes, I did get counseling and therapy when I first went through my breakup, but I didn't connect. It didn't resonate with me, even though they were beautiful people and they knew they were experienced in their field. I just felt like it didn't really hit home with me because I just found it really difficult to get advice and support from someone that hadn't been in my shoes. And that's no disrespect to anyone in therapy or counseling or psychology who does help people through these situations, or who do help people through these situations, I should say. But for me, and I guess as a single parent, that's one of the hardest things you notice when you go through your breakup. You just feel like no one understands you. You feel like no one gets it. And that's all you want. You want someone that's going to understand you. You want someone that's like, yeah, I get it. I totally understand. And that is why I found counseling so hard, and the people that I was speaking to, because they just didn't. They didn't get it. They didn't understand the hurt I was holding on to. They didn't understand why I was so angry at the time and why I was feeling a certain way. And you can say, oh, well, you need to focus on this, you need to do this. But when they don't get it, it just doesn't land the same way. And so that's when it kind of really all fell into place. It's like, you know what, I want to be able to get myself to a place where I can help other people that are going through situations similar to what I once did. And here I am. This is where I am today, and this is what I absolutely love doing. There is nothing more beautiful for me than to actually see that transformation of people that I work with, my clients that come to me broken, tears, shattered when I first see them in that session, to actually progress through time and see how they handle situations different, see how they show up differently, watch them rebuild their life and come into a whole new confident version of themselves. It is a beautiful thing to see. And that is why I love doing what I do. I'm not here to say, just give me your money, we're going to sit and have a chit chat, off you go. I'm here because I absolutely love what I do. I'm here because I know what it's like to be on that other side. I'm here because I know how I can help you through this. And I know that there is a way through this. I know that you don't have to stay stuck in this deep, dark hole. I know you don't have to stay stuck in this toxic co-parenting dynamic. You can get through this. And that is why I'm so passionate about this, because I want more single parents to realize that you don't have to live an unhappy life. You don't have to stay in a toxic dynamic. You don't have to stay stuck in this deep, dark hole because you're a single parent, because you went through an ugly breakup, or because of your situation. You can get through this. And it all comes down to your mindset and how you choose to move forward. So that is a bit about me, and that is why I truly do love what I do. And I actually had someone comment on one of my videos recently and said, well, she's obviously had a wealthy family that helped her through her breakup. Well, actually, no, I didn't. I had zero handouts, zero, none. I mean, hey, wouldn't it be nice to have a wealthy family that's going to be like, here, Leanne, we will help you out financially. We'll get you. We'll sort it out for you. No, I didn't have that. And I didn't have any money from my ex. It was nothing. It was all on my own 2 feet. So this is why I really want people to understand that you can get to a rock bottom place and you can come out on the other side. You can get through this. And that's why a lot of people just look at me and think, well, you've got it easy. You don't know what it's like to be in my situation. Well, I probably do. But the thing is, I've chosen to work through it. I've chosen to not stay angry. I've chosen, for the sake of myself and for my daughter, I don't want to stay angry. I don't want to stay bitter. I don't want to stay pissed off at my ex, because that's only going to hold me back. And when it holds me back, guess what? That affects my daughter. And that's not the life I want. I don't want my life to be consumed with my breakup. And I have had a lot of comments directed at me saying, well, you don't know what it's like, or you don't know how hard it is. Or because I look happier now, they just think that I've got no idea. But I do. I just don't choose to live in that place of hurt anymore. I've chosen to work through it. And you can too. You can get through it. But when you're constantly looking at other single parents, or you're judging them, or you're complaining about where they're at, or you're comparing their story to yours, all that's doing is holding you back. Every single parent has an option to make their life better. It's just what you choose to do in that time when you've become a single parent. What direction are you going to take your life in? And that comes down to you. And that is where I come into the picture, because I want to help you all take that right direction, that right path that's going to lead you to something healthier for not just you, but for your kids. So this is why I have the podcast. This is why I have my coaching. This is why I have my ebooks and my weekly membership. And for those of you that don't know, I do have a weekly membership where you can check in with me personally on a weekly basis. I send messages, you can message me, we can unpack things, I can make sure you're not feeling lonely. You've got that person in your corner to check in on you on a weekly basis to make sure you are doing okay. So that is another option of my endless services that I have available. If you are interested in any of those things that I've just mentioned, then they are all in the show notes below. They're all on my website. You can come over on Instagram and message me and ask me any questions there. But that is why I love what I do. So I want to jump into today's episode, which kind of relates a bit to that intro, which is talking about, are you holding yourself back? Are you holding yourself back from moving forward as a single parent? Because like I just touched on when I mentioned that person that commented saying, I must have rich parents, I have had endless comments saying things about me. You must be a man hater. You must have failed as a wife. The comments I get are just mind-boggling. And what I find most disappointing about those comments is it's not what they say, it's the fact that they're coming from other single parents. And this is what I think we all, as single parents, really need to kind of come together with, because there is so much hate and judgment and negativity out there towards single parents. Now, maybe I'm a bit naive in this, but I feel like there's not as much as there used to be, or maybe I just close myself off to it and I don't notice it, or I just don't care because I don't engage in it. But there is still a lot out there. And there are still, I see it. I get the comments regularly. Like I just said, you must be a man hater. You must have failed as a wife and all these comments. But the thing is, there is so much hate out there from society towards single parents. There's so much judgment. So many single parents, when they first become a single parent, feel that sense of shame and guilt and that sense of failure because of that expectation that society puts on you to make your relationship work. So the last thing you need as a single parent is to be judged by other single parents. Nobody needs that. We as a society, we as single parents, I should say, need to come together to be more supportive of each other, because it is really disheartening when I see single parents attack other single parents. It's like they've got to compete for who was hurt the most, who's been through the most pain, who's been through the most trauma. And at the end of the day, I can sometimes sit here and say, well, probably me. But one, people wouldn't know that because I don't sit here and act miserable about it. And two, I'm not here to compete. I don't sit here and go, oh, gosh, your life's not hard. Look at you. What are you complaining about? No, because everyone has got their own hard experiences. A breakup is a breakup. It hurts. It breaks your heart. It's soul destroying. It's life destroying. It is a difficult situation for anyone. It doesn't matter what you go through. It is a difficult process to go through. And everyone's situation is important to them. Their feelings, the way you feel, what's happened as a result of your breakup is important to you. But what I want everyone to be mindful of, just because someone else's situation may look different to you, it doesn't mean that they need to be compared to your situation. It doesn't mean they need to be judged or criticized. We need to support all other single parents. We need to be respectful and mindful of all single parents. And really the message that I want to get across in this podcast episode is when you're in that mindset of comparing other people, when you're in that mindset of being critical or judging and comparing yourself to other single parents, what you're doing is you're holding yourself back. You're not realizing it, but when you're focusing on all the negative things and you're complaining and you're judging and you're criticizing, you're blocking yourself off from possibly seeing all the good that's happening in your life. You're blocking yourself off from moving forward. Instead of looking at someone who's been through a difficult situation, say for example me, who's been doing this for 12 years, and I get a lot of negative comments. So instead of people actually looking at me going, wow, she's actually got through a really hard stage in her life, I should take some feedback from her. I should take some motivation and inspiration from her. But instead, I get so many people that do the complete opposite and try to tear me down. Now, that doesn't bother me that they're doing that, but it just blows me away. It's like, well, if you're not happy with your situation, why don't you do something to make it better? And this is what we need to be doing as single parents. Instead of judging or criticizing, look at how other single parents can help you. Look at how other single parents can empower you and motivate you, because that's what we need to be doing. And when you get in that place of comparison and all these other things of judging and critiquing other parents or single parents, that's when you're usually more often than not caught up in that victim mentality. And when you're stuck in victim mentality, that's when you're not moving forward. It's that blame mentality. Well, it's all my ex's fault that I'm in this situation. Oh, look at them. They think they've got a hard life. Oh, look, they've got it easy. They must have had rich parents. That mentality does not help you in any way. And that's when I say that certain things that you may be doing that you don't realize are possibly blocking you from moving forward. It's like that whole glass half empty scenario. When you're constantly looking at the glass half empty, you're never going to see the good because it's always nearly empty, right? But when you can actually flip it around, it's like, oh, the glass half full. You can actually see it from a more positive perspective. Now, like I always say, I'm not trying to force toxic positivity onto anyone. But when you're constantly focusing on the negative, you're never going to see the good in your situation. When you're constantly focusing on the negative in other single parents, you're only going to see the negative in yours. It's like, well, they're this or they're that or they're this and they're that. But you need to be doing the complete opposite and going, wow, how did they get through it? What did they do? What can I learn from them? I don't like where I am now, so what can I do to better myself? And this is one thing I do in business all the time. You look at people that are doing well. You look at people that are really successful. It's like, wow, look at them. What can I learn from them? And that's what we need to kind of encourage when it comes to single parenting. Instead of looking at others and going, who do they think they are? Instead of comparing yourself to them, instead of judging or critiquing, what can you learn from them? What have they done to better their life? What have they done to change their situation, to get out of that deep, dark hole that maybe they were once in? And this is what I want you all to take note of. If you're at a situation or a place in your life as a single parent and you're not happy, are you doing something to help you move forward? Or are you looking at possibly other single parents and getting yourself into comparison mode? Getting yourself into maybe you're judging them without even realizing it. And it's easy to do. And do you know what? I'm going to put my hand up. And when I first became a single parent, it is easy to do that. It is easy to get into that mentality because you're so hurt, you're so emotional, you're so wounded, and you're in that headspace where just nobody gets it. Nobody understands what you're going through. But then the longer you're going through it, the more you realize that other people are going through pretty much the exact same thing. But really, what I want you to take away from today's episode, just a short little pep talk today, just reminding you all that it is your outlook on your situation that helps you move forward or helps you stay stuck. And if you want to move forward, if you want to change your situation, if you want to get out of where you are, then you've got to try find a way to find the positives. You've got to try find a way to look at things that you can do, because it's constantly being caught up in that headspace of looking and judging and critiquing other people that have once been through or still going through where you are, or going through what you are currently going through. That is only going to keep you stuck. So next time you see another single parent, where maybe it's in real life, maybe it's on social media, be open-minded. Be open-minded to wanting to help them. Be open-minded to sharing your experience, sharing what you've been through. Because someone that's been doing this for, like myself, 12 years, to someone that's just gone through it, I mean, I can usually tell straight away the people that have just gone through their breakup, because they are a lot more hurt. And that's understandable. It's fresh. It's all new. It's a big deal back then when you first break up, right? So I just want us all as single parents to be more mindful of each other, to be more supportive of each other. We as single parents need to have each other's backs. And if we're knocking each other down, then who's going to protect you? Now, I'm not saying that another single parent is going to come and fix your problems for you, but that's what you want. And this goes with the whole gender debate as well, and women hating men and men hating women. It's not going to help. Everyone has been through their own hurt. Everyone has been through their own heartbreak. Hating on people and critiquing them and putting your walls up is only holding you back. It is okay to trust again. It is okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to let people in. But the more you're guarded, the more you close yourself off, the more you're holding on to anger and pushing people away because you're worried of all the what ifs, the more you're holding yourself back. It's okay to trust again. But when you're at that place where it's scary to do that, that's your sign that you're still holding on to a lot of wounds. You're still holding on to a lot of hurt from the breakup. And that's something that you possibly need to work through. But you don't want to put yourself at a place where you're constantly blocking yourself from moving forward because of all the hurt that you're still holding on to. For some people, it feels easier to stay holding on to that. It feels easier and comfortable to know that it was your ex's fault, so I don't need to change anything. But what I want you all to realize that If you want your life to improve, if you want something in your life to be different, then you've got to change something about the way you're showing up. You've got to change something about the way you're handling certain situations, because it doesn't just magically improve by just something randomly happening. Nothing is just going to randomly fall in your lap. You need to make the changes for that to happen. So just if anything, I want you to take away from today's episode is just be mindful of the way you interact with other single parents. Be mindful of the way you view your situation. Be mindful of the way you view life, because when you're constantly looking at the negatives, you are only going to see the negatives in your life. If you're constantly complaining and looking at what you don't have, you are never going to see the good that you do have, because it's constantly being overshadowed by what you don't have. It's like when I'm working with my clients, a lot of the times they don't recognize the growth they've taken. They don't recognize how far they've come, because it's easy to recognize what you don't have. It's easy to notice what's missing, but it's a lot harder to notice the good things and how far you've come. And that's what I want you all to start noticing, all the good in your life, the progress you have made in your life since becoming a single parent, the progress that you can still make, the good things that are available to you, the friendships that are available to you, the other support network from maybe other single parents that are available to you. So don't close yourself off. Don't get yourself caught up in this little hole thinking this is as good as it gets. I've got no chance of improving my life, or no one gets me. No one understands me. No one's ever going to know what it's like to be through or to go through what I've once been through. Maybe they won't. Your situation is unique to you. But at the end of the day, every single parent has been through heartbreak. Every single parent has been hurt. Every single parent needs to be respectful of what everyone else is going through and not look down on what someone else is going through, because maybe their situation is a little bit different to yours. But just remember, different is not always something bad. Different is quite often something good. Different can quite often be something that pushes you out of your comfort zone. Different can be maybe exactly what you need in your life to help you move forward. Because at the end of the day, if I could just wave a magic wand, that would be to remove any hate towards single parents. It really would be. Because there is such an outdated belief and stigma that's out there. And we don't need to be copying that from other single parents. Let's be supportive and respectful of each other. Let's be at a place where we can learn and inspire each other, not shit on each other. Because when you're looking at it from a negative outlook, you're stopping yourself from moving forward. Life doesn't need to be a competition. It's not about who's had the worst breakup. It's not about who's living in the better home, who's had more help, who's had it easier. Can you be a little open-minded and maybe learn something from that person? Because the one thing I do see a lot is, because I'm not someone that sits in negativity. I'm not someone that complains. I'm not someone that really gets angry. I'm not someone that's going to be bitter and miserable. And a lot of people are triggered by that. A lot of people don't like that. They think maybe I'm being fake. Maybe I'm not being genuine. But it's actually the complete opposite. I'm actually one of the people that will say it how it is. I don't sugarcoat shit. I will tell you. I mean, I get reminded of that every day by my daughter, but I don't sugarcoat anything. I just don't sit here in misery. I don't sit here complaining, being angry, because do you know why? It's only going to hold me back, and I don't want that shit in my life. I don't want to sit around being angry and miserable. What for? Maybe you are looking at someone that does look a lot happier and you're judging them. Use that as your mirror. That's a mirror. When someone is triggering you, someone's doing something that really bothers you, that's a mirror. Stop and look at yourself and go, why is this bothering me? And quite often it's because what is bothering you about someone else is something that's lacking in your life. So say, for example, like I just said, if someone looks really happy and that triggers you, because maybe you don't have that and that's what you want. If someone's got a lot of money and that triggers you, maybe because it's what you want. You wish you could have a nice big home like they have. You wish you had a nice easy breakup like they did. You wish you could go on holidays like they do. And that's just it. When people trigger you, they're putting a mirror up to you, showing you what your wounds are. So instead of reacting to it, step back and look at it. Step back and understand what's happening. So that's just my little short pep talk today, just on being mindful of the way you look at your situation, the way you interact, the way you talk, and the way you choose to move forward in life. Because at the end of the day, if you're not making any progress, if you're not moving forward, if you're not going in the direction where you want to be going in life, then there's only one person that's stopping that, and that's you. You have full power in your life to choose which direction you take it. You have full power to move forward and do something different with your life. But as I touched on, it is scary. It is easier to stay in your comfort zone. It is easier to stay in what you know doing. But easier isn't always the best option. Easier isn't the option that moves you forward. Easier isn't the option that helps you grow. Because growing, doing something different, moving forward, it means getting out of your comfort zone, and that is uncomfortable. That's my little pep talk for today. If you have any questions, or if you do want some help to get you out of your comfort zone and move forward, then you know the drill, guys. I am here, would be more than happy to help you in any way I can. If you want any advice or any information on any of the services I have, then feel free to reach out. Send me an email, send me a DM, come over and message me on Instagram at LifeAfterPlus1. I'm here to answer you. If you're loving the show as well, feel free to hit subscribe, hit like, hit follow, and give a little review. So that's it from me, guys. I hope you got something valuable from this episode. And until next week, I'll be in your ears then.
Thank you for joining us on the Life After Plus One podcast. If you loved what you heard today and looking for some further support, then jump onto our website, lifeafterplus1.com. Plus, don't forget to check out our Instagram page for further resources and inspo. You can find all the links in the show notes. And remember, you're not alone on this path. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next episode. And in the meantime, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep exploring your amazing life after Plus One.